Hello yogis, it's me Vicki. How are you? I miss all of you from the studio. Today we're going to have a practice that for some might feel a little more vigorous than some of the ones I've already posted. So I do hope you enjoy it. Feel free to modify as needed. Today I want to start the practice seated. It's nice if you could sit on a blanket or cushion. Allow the sitting bones to root into the ground. Some teachers may call this a seated mountain pose. So your sit bones, which come down from the base of your pelvic girdle and ground into the ground, are almost like your feet when you're in standing mountain. So allow those to be your roots, your sit bones, or your feet, if you will. And allow the energy to come up your spine, nice and long, lifting your rib cage up a little bit away from your hips so that you feel some space in your belly. A nice way to do this is to lift your heart center up a little bit higher. Allow the shoulders to melt back and down, even if you have to roll them a little bit until they finally melt themselves back and down. Chin drawn in, ears over shoulders. Crown of the head reaching to the sky. Focusing on our breath now. Reminding ourselves as we sit here and breathe that all is temporary. Everything will change with time. And the one thing that pushes fear away and calms it is hope. So allow the hope to be what you inhale today. Bringing in the breath as a gift to yourself with that inhale of hope. And then exhaling out any fear, anxiety, the feeling of being perhaps afraid of something. The next inhale brings the hope back in. Exhaling out any fear, unsettledness. Coming back to the inhale of hope, reminding yourself that that inhale is a gift of breath. Inhaling a hope and exhaling any fear. A few more rounds of breathing, and notice that it becomes, just after a while, the hope, the breath as your gift to your self-care now. A few more rounds of breathing. Inhaling the hope, accepting your gift of breath. When you're ready, taking your left ear to your shoulder, just tilting the head there, stretching through your neck. Let's allow the head to roll in front, chin to chest, and over to the opposite side, ear to shoulder, tilting the chin up diagonally. Let the head roll in front again, and around to the other side. We'll continue this movement as if the head is just a heavy ball of some sort rolling around, stretching the neck, relaxing through the occipital lobes in the back of the head, where sometimes we hold a little tension. Good, let's bring the head back to chin to chest and back to center, taking your left ear to the shoulder, rolling it back. Now your right ear to the shoulder, rolling it back. And as if you're doing figure eights, starting to move one shoulder at a time. Let your arms relax. It doesn't matter if you're touching your legs or the mat. Rolling each shoulder back slowly. Good. Let's pause. Allow the shoulders to melt back and down. And inhale, bring the arms up slowly, reaching overhead. Arms drawn down into the shoulder sockets. Let's touch the hands for those that can. Can we find the Kali Mudra today with the pointer finger to the sky? Breathing here. Sitting bones rooted, fingers reaching. On your next exhale, let's lower the left arm to the ground and just let that right arm extend across. Breathing. Inhale, come back to that mudra, right? Reaching to the sky. Exhaling, opposite side with your lateral stretch. Beautiful. Let's come back up to center. One more time each side. Exhale, melting, breathing, stretching. Keeping your hips heavy. Inhale up again. And exhale, opposite side. Melt, breathe. Inhale your hope. Good. Coming back to center here. Gently take the hands to the heart. Just palm to palm, fingers touching. Reminding yourself of your self-care. Accepting your breaths as gifts now. Gifts of hope. On your next breath, let's just lower the arms and take a gentle little twist over to the left. So we can bring the arms with us, let one wrap around the leg, one behind you, staying tall. And then simply spin to the opposite side, very simple. Sitting bones rooted, as if you're a slow spinning top from side to side. Breathing. Good. Now this time when you come back over to the left side, let's place our fingertips on either side of that left knee and taking the heart center, bringing the heart over past the knee, right? As if you're looking for something on the ground there beyond the knee, keeping your right sitting bone grounded, hip heavy. Good. Slowly back to center and spinning gently just over towards that other knee, fingertips to ground. Coming forward, heart leading. As if you're looking for something on the ground there. Stretching through that left hip. Good. Bringing yourself back to center. And now gently just half circle the arms so that both of them come in front of you. Keeping your low back long, leading with the heart. Just come forward for a nice little stretch through your back. Breathing. Good. Now let's draw the belly in. Half circle the hands around and behind you. Fingertips forward. Lift the heart up for a tiny little back bend. Right shoulders back. Can we move through this sequence again as a flow? Exhale, come forward. Draw the belly in and inhale. Lift the heart. Same thing again. Exhale forward. Inhale. Lift the heart. One more time. Exhale. And inhale, bring yourself back to that little back bend. Inhaling the hope here. slowly back to your neutral spine. Beautiful job. Let's come over the legs or bring them to the side for tabletop. If you were on a blanket or cushion, simply move it to the side as we set up our tabletop posture. That's your all fours posture. So today, coming into the hips a little bit more, let's see if we can lift our left hip to the side, a little fire hydrant shape here. So the knee stays bent. Stay strong in the core. Now keeping that knee bent, can we shift the knee over to the right elbow? And then back to your fire hydrant. Over to the right elbow. Same thing again. Lift. And then over to the right elbow. Good. Now this time let's take that left leg out behind you. Ball of the foot on the ground. Press your heel back, stretching your calf. I should say stretching your calves, right? 2 calf muscles at the base of each leg. Breathing. Now can we shift and lift up the right knee? Shift the leg so that now we're stretching through the opposite calves, right? And those that want to try, let's do a little pedaling here in a little plank shape. As each knee drops one by one, opposite heel presses back. Little effort through the shoulders, breathing through your shoulders. One more round. Good, and then both knees down back to our table, very nice. Readjust your table if needed. Right side, the hip opener here, fire hydrant. And then knee to the left elbow. Let's try it again. Lift up. Knee to the left elbow. Inhale, lift up again. Exhale, knee to the left elbow. This time, right leg comes out. Ball of the foot on the ground. Push the heel back. Stretch. And let's try our little plank flow with one knee dropping at a time, as if you're pedaling a bike. And notice with your shoulders, right, how we're grounding through the hands, shoulders stacked over the elbows, strong body. One more round. Good, let's drop both knees to the ground for table and melt back into our child pose. Our first child pose, you may want to bring your arms behind you, tuck them next to your pinky toes and give those shoulders a little rest. Breathing. As we move through our practice today, feel free to come back to your child pose at any time to rest physically or to rest mentally, perhaps a time of reflection if needed. Even if I'm not demonstrating this pose throughout the practice, feel free to use it at any time. Good, now we'll come back to one more tabletop. Take your time. This time, walking our hands out to puppy pose. So the hands, for most of you, are going to come way forward. Little extra weight on the heel of the hand, and we'll melt the heart down, as if it's coming through the biceps, right? So hips stay over the knees. Some of you might find this feels a little bit like a half of a downward dog. Breathing. Good, now a little effort here, dropping the forearms and elbows, sliding your heart through, sliding your legs back a little bit, coming to Sphinx pose. Breathing here. Opening the heart, stretching the body. Slowly bring yourself down. Let's bring the hands now next to the chest to find a little baby cobra pose. So lifting the heart up. Some of you might come up a little higher. That's okay, right? Using the back muscles. Now as you release, let's float right into salutation, our locust pose. Legs lift, arms are lifted, we're floating here, strong backs. Let's drop the legs, hands back to chest horizontal. Cobra, inhale. Exhale down. Locust, inhale. Exhale down. Cobra, inhale. Exhale down. Locust, inhale. Exhale down. One more. Cobra. Exhale. Locust. Exhale. This time, inhale, cobra. Exhale to child pose. Take your time all the way back. Take 3 breaths here. Breathe into your low back now. Very nice work. Working through our strength of our back, keeping our body healthy. Slowly back to tabletop. As soon as we get there, tucking toes, shifting hips back, downward facing dog. Make any adjustment you need in your hands, arms, shoulders, feet. Move the legs a little bit, pedal them out, stretch. Working towards a long back, long legs. Breathing. Good. Now let's pause in stillness for 2 breaths. Good. On your next breath, inhale the right leg to 3-legged dog. Good. Bending the knee, finding another hip opener here, just like that fire hydrant we did earlier, but a little bigger. Let's keep the knee bent. Bring the leg back, knee to left elbow, then to right elbow, and let that leg swing a little bit. Knee to opposite elbow. Just keep swinging that a bit. Good, and then back up to that hip opener and down dog. Very nice. On your next breath, we'll bring that same knee to the left elbow this time, sliding that foot underneath the left armpit for our fallen triangle as we let that left foot spin and flatten. Left arm lifts away from the mat, breathing. Strong. Inhaling our hope. Exhale. Let's find our downward facing dog carefully. Take your time. Good. Inhale, left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Let's bend the knee. There's that little fire hydrant hip opener. Good. Taking that same knee, it's still bent, over to the right elbow, then the left elbow, and back and forth a few times, getting some movement through that hip. Good. Then back up to that hip opener and down dog. Great. Let's keep the knee bent to bring it back to the right elbow. Now this time, opening up the leg, the foot comes underneath the right armpit, spinning that foot to flatness, that right foot, and opening to fallen triangle. Breathing. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Beautiful job. On your next breath, walk or step to your hands for forward fold. We're at the front of the mat now. Pause. Breathe, working chest towards thighs. Nice. Let's take the fingers and walk them over to the left side of the left foot. Little twist. And then over to the right side of the right foot. Little twist. Good. Back to center. Bending your knees a little bit, we find chair pose. Let's come back to that Kali Mudra with the hands together. Pointer fingers reaching. Inhale, power yourself up to standing. Feel free to take a little back bend. Stretching, breathing. Coming back to a neutral spine, let's release the arms down and behind you. Little yoga mudra here as we lift the heart one more time and exhale, soften the knees, hinge at the hips, forward fold, arms behind you. Lifting them up off your back for a stretch if you'd like. Stretching through your shoulders here. Breathing, beautiful. Let's release the arms, fingers down on the ground. Good, stepping the left leg back for a full runner's lunge here. Take a moment. You can stay here as an option with your fingertips on the ground. Some may join me in rising to high lunge. Let's lift just the right arm today in that high lunge. Just that right arm lift. Breathe. Sweeping that left arm in front of us and across the right thigh for prayer twist. Hands together in front of the face. Coming back to center. Hands to heart. Let's bring hands to frame the front foot, stepping back to plank pose, little vinyasa here. Exhale to low plank. Inhale, bring the heart through for upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking 2 breaths. Beautiful. Any way that you can, let's step the left foot between the hands, finding our runner's lunge. Again, stay here, or some of you might lift that left arm up for your high lunge. Sweeping the right arm across, letting it make a little shelf there for your left hand for your prayer twist. Nice long back leg. Breathing. Come back to center, hands to heart. And again, hands frame the foot. Let's step back to our plank pose. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, 2 breaths. Now this time we'll walk, step, or jump to prayer squat at the front of our mat. Take your time, hands to heart. Good, let's lower the hands to the mat, power up the legs so we come to standing wide fold, toe, heel, the feet in. Breathing in your fold, relax, relax, stretch. Let's bend the knees and find chair pose with our Kali Mudra. Inhaling the hope as we come to standing, little back bend if you wish. As you come back to neutral spine, arms release, and they come again behind you for your yoga mudra. This will look familiar as we lift the heart up again. Exhale, soften the knees, hinge forward. Forward fold, stretching the shoulders. Good. Let's release the hands down here, either side of the feet. Notice your fold opening up slowly. Stepping the left leg back again, we find that runner's lunge again. Let's come right back to the high lunge with the right arm in the air. Can we spin the back foot and open to our warrior 2 pose? Take your time to readjust your feet. We've all done this pose before. Sometimes adjustment is needed. Take your time. Reversing your warrior. Stretch. Breathe. Exhale to side or extended angle, your choice of where you'd like that lower arm to be, on the thigh or on the ground. Great. Just for today, could we try a little half bind here. That arm behind the back that was in the air. Beautiful job. Let's release that half bind. Spin back around to your runner's lunge. As you step back to plank, feel free to float your right leg in the air. And as you come through that low plank, you might find that leg rises and stays up through your upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Good. Any way that you can, let's step that left leg through to runner's lunge again. Stay here or float that left arm up for your high lunge. Opening to warrior 2. Same thing on the other side, right? So we reverse the warrior. Breathe. Exhale, side or extended angle. Take your time. Upper arm can tuck behind the back for your half bind. Shifting your gaze upward. Good, let's release that and come all the way around to the runner's lunge, stepping the left leg back, maybe floating that leg as an option in your plank, coming down to your low plank, upward dog. Maybe the leg is lifted there, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. On your next breath, walk, step or jump to your prayer squat, front of the mat. This time in our prayer squat, let's lower the right arm and lift the left one up. Stretch. Let the palm of that left hand face you. Exhale, that hand down in front of the left foot, and the right one comes up. Stretch. Exhale that hand down, both hands are on the ground. So we'll go ahead and power up to a fold, toe heel in. Readjust the feet closer to the front of the mat if you wish. Just melt into that fold. Exhale out anything you need to get rid of. And as you bend your knees and find your chair pose, inhale the hope. Gentle smile on your face. Powering up, little back bend. As you come back to neutral, let's bring the arms around one more time behind us. Inhale, the gift of our breath. Exhale, soften and fold. Opening up the shoulders again. Breathe. Slowly release the hands down to the mat. Last time through, a little faster. Our left leg steps back for runner's lunge. Inhale to high lunge. Open to warrior 2. Take a full breath there. Find your strength here. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, side or extended angle. Pause here. Breathe. Option for that half bind. Some of you may be watching, might go to full bind, bringing that lower arm to feet under the thigh, rolling upper shoulder back to gaze at the sky. Beautiful. Let's untangle everything. Hands frame the foot, square the hips. Stepping back to plank. Maybe you're floating that right leg again, coming through your vinyasa flow as an option. Downward facing dog for 2 breaths. Good. On your next inhale for the last time, that left leg comes through between the hands. High lunge. Opening to your warrior 2. Good. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, side or extended angle. And And here is the half bind option. Some, maybe the full bind option, feeding that lower arm underneath there, rolling upper shoulder back. Clasping the hands, breathe. On your next exhale, release everything. Spiral back around to that runner's lunge. And then we find the plank with the left leg option floating as we come through that last vinyasa. The downward facing dog. Exhaling. Breathing. Good. On your next inhale, stepping, walking, or jumping, prayer squat for the last time. Here, option to place the hands on the ground and perhaps an arm balance for some of you. Crow pose as we shift the weight forward, elbows inside knees. Perhaps we're coming up onto the balls of the feet or lifting fully there. Let's end this in prayer squat. Hands to the heart. So one or two of you watching may want to try one more crow pose. If you're not trying that last crow pose, stay here. If you are trying it, and if you're getting a little bored or you want a little bit more, you can shift to crane pose by coming up a little higher on the toes, tucking the knees into the armpits a little bit more onto the top of the tricep. And then coming into a crane pose here, which is a little bit higher than your crow pose there. It's a little option. So we'll end in our prayer squat. That's where we'll end with it. It's all fun, isn't it? Breathing. Can we find a seat from here? Just gently let yourself sit down and relax for a moment, placing your feet flat, right? With your body lifted again so that your heart is lifted. Hands underneath the thighs, shoulders back and down. Practicing our boat pose, lifting heels, or perhaps lifting legs, right? Sometimes it's fun to try to parallel the shins to the ceiling. We can let go with our arms if we'd like. So just for a little fun sequence, we can press the heels out, lift the arms to the sky, and exhale back to the shins parallel to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Now as you bring those legs down, bring the hands right under the thighs. Round your back for the first time. Bring the forehead to the knees. Open your lat muscles in your back. Your big, big back muscles there. Breathe and let go. One more. Slowly release. Very nice. Check behind you. Make sure you have enough room to roll back. Allow one leg to stretch and the other one to guide you back in a bent position. Slowly bringing both knees into the chest. Rocking on your back. Noticing how very different you feel now than you did perhaps a few minutes ago when we started this practice. Yoga is so good for the soul. I think that's why we all fall in love with it, we really do. Very nice. Now let's lower just our right leg, our right foot, keep the knee bent, and we'll find a pigeon with the left ankle onto the right thigh. So our back is very neutral, there's no twisting. Many of you will lift your right leg away from the ground and hold hold on to the thigh because you'll get more stretch there. Using the biceps in your arms to draw this shape, this pigeon shape, closer to your heart. So as you're breathing here, it's for a little extra today, if you want a little bit extra. Keeping the shoulders down, let's lift the right arm and just put it in the air. Then take the two right peace fingers and see if you can touch your right big toe, or just see how far away from the toe you are. Maybe we can even grab the toe with the fingers if you'd like to try that. So as a final option, we could lift the heart up towards this left foot. And curiously, there might be one or two of you that might have the left big toe just right there on your forehead, perhaps. Or midnight, right? I know. A couple more practices, right? Good. One more breath. It doesn't matter what configuration you've done here, as long as you're stretching. Exhale. Release down. Good. Now, let's take this all the way down. Take your left foot off, but feet are flat, knees are bent, arms are to our sides. On your next breath, press strongly into your feet and the back of your shoulders to lift up for bridge pose. So we're lifting our hips up away from the ground just as much as we can. Bringing in that breath, that gift of breath, that hope, right? 3 more breaths. Notice how the hands are very light. You might even be able to lift them up. The shoulders are taking the grounding here for the body. 1 more. Good, and exhale down slowly. No rush. Taking your right leg into pigeon. Ankle on the left thigh. So again, pausing and seeing how this is feeling for you. Let the hip open slowly here in this shape. If you would like to lift your left leg up and hold the thigh, you're welcome to do that. So this is where the arms get a little workout, right? They might be drawing this shape in. Use your breath to add or subtract sensation in the shape. So the exhale can bring it a little deeper. The inhale can back it off a little bit if you need to. How about this left arm in the air as an option? And just check here with your peace fingers. How far are we from that left toe? Maybe we're a little further on this side or a little closer. Some of you might be able to scoop that up, right? Final option to lift the heart up here towards your right, basically towards your right leg, towards your ankle. Again, if you've got your big toe just hanging out there at your third eye, that's okay too, right? Breathing through your right hip. This is very good for the hip. This is also good for the core, basically. 1 more breath. Exhale, release everything down. Feet flat again. Good, and we'll do 1 more bridge today. If you find that you practice wheel in your practice and that's something that you want to do, as you come up to bridge, as you start coming up, you'll just have to shift your hands next to your ears. Fingertips face your body as you lift up from there. Please be mindful if you're practicing this that you might end up just lifting a little bit and then coming down. This takes a long time, so take your time, maybe a couple years of practice to come into your your wheel, right? Mm-hmm. And when you feel that you've had enough, maybe another breath or two, take your time. You're coming down from your bridge or wheel. No rush. Bringing the knees to the chest to rest gently. Let's open our arms to a T to the sides. And today we'll cross our right thigh over our left thigh for a little eagle leg shape. So these legs are squeezing together. As we squeeze those together, inhale, and as you exhale, we'll drop the legs to the left for an eagle twist. So we're dropping them down. Now, as you're coming down with these legs, see how your back feels. If it's too much sensation there on your low back or your right hip, just untangle your legs. Let them just stack up just very gently, right? The head could turn to the right. Breathing here. Notice the breathing in the body. It always amazes me how that breath spirals around, giving the areas of the body the oxygen that's needed for the pose. Comforting. One more. And bring the head back. Now, if your legs are in eagle, let's untangle them and stack them to meet everyone else who tried it that way. And then draw the belly in, the legs back to center. Good. This time, left over right, we'll do the same thing. So squeezing these close together. Mm-hmm. Inhale here. Exhale, let's drop to the right. Be careful. Take your time. Always listening to your body. If your body's saying no, then we need to adjust, right? We need to untangle. Head can turn. Relax, relax. Little inhales here. Those little inhales are a little bit smaller because of the twist, but they are still inhales of hope. The exhales of release, letting something go. Good. Just two more on this side. Bringing your head back to center. Let's untangle the legs. Stack them up. And slowly bring them back. Before we rest in our shavasana, can we separate the legs into happy baby? So the knees are bent. The soles of the feet face the sky, and your peace fingers can scoop up those big toes again. So we're drawing the knees down towards the shoulders. Notice the big opening in your back and your hips. This is great for the back of the pelvic girdle, back of the hips, lower back. And some might notice that you could rock here side to side. And how comforting is that, right? Little rocking, letting go. Knowing that everything's okay, everything is temporary. There's nothing in life that doesn't change. Mm-hmm. After a while, the rocking will stop. Slowly to let go of the toes, the feet, bringing the legs in. You might want to give yourself one big hug here, thanking your beautiful body, your beautiful mind, and your beautiful spirit for practicing today. Unrolling yourself, right? Just stretching out, moving as needed. Let each heel open to the respective corner of the mat, the toes relax to the sides, arms to your sides, palms up. The palms up today, as you're in your shavasana, will allow you to receive. Let yourself receive. Receive the hope that you've created in this practice. So my suggestion might be to stay here for at least 5 minutes in your shavasana to allow the body and mind to rest. Know that there are others practicing with you today. So I will bring my hands together to my heart to honor each of you and to say namaste to you. Have a wonderful evening.